If you plan your Japan trip using nothing but Google Maps, you're asking for trouble. Late last year, I was checking an itinerary for a client, one I suspect they'd made almost entirely with Google Maps. I don't normally do this kind of job. I usually work together with people to make their plan rather than just check their homework. But the trip was starting in the next 10 days. The plan sounded really interesting, and the client really wanted my help. So I said yes. And just when I thought I'd ironed out all the creases and crinkles in their plan, I found something that utterly shocked me. So this client had scheduled a day at a theme park on Awaji Island, and they were planning on taking the highway bus from nearby Osaka. But when I hunted down the details of the bus ticket they'd bought, I saw that they'd be getting off the bus at a stop on the wrong side of the island. That stop was a full 40 minutes down the road. Now, if they followed that plan, they'd lose half a day at least. And this wasn't an easy fix. That bus didn't even get close to the theme park. The client needed to get off very early and switch bus, or cancel and just buy a new ticket. Now, when I checked Google Maps, it gave me complicated routes with lots of transfers, and it was really tough to find the direct bus that I wanted, which is why I did something else first. I went to the attractions website. It sounds obvious, but when you're knee-deep in trip planning, obvious often goes out the window. I know. I've done it. Here, there's usually a page or section called Access. It tells you all the best routes in detail. It's written by locals who know what they're talking about, so there's no confusion. Meanwhile, Google Maps says, here are 25 different options, and I have no opinion about which is the best because I'm just an algorithm. Access pages are especially useful for spots outside the cities with less obvious connections. When you're using long-distance buses, often called highway buses, you don't just need to know the name of the closest stop. You also need to know the route that you want. And access pages tell you all of this information with no extra fluff. Typically, they also give you links to the relevant pages on bus companies' websites. And on those websites, you can look at the actual timetables. You can quickly look up all the relevant departure and arrival times as well as stop names. And you can also buy tickets. Now, if you're finding this video useful for planning your Japan trip, go drop me a thumbs up. And while you're down there, sign up for my insider email. I'll send you more practical tips, hacks, and recommendations straight to your inbox. The link is in the pinned comment. Now, although access pages can help pinpoint the right bus or train for your journey, it sometimes helps if they confuse you. Let me give you an example. Once I was planning a journey from Lake Toada down to Tokyo. A quick look at Google Maps told me I needed to take the bus back to Aomori first, and then the Shinkansen down to Tokyo. The only snag was the bus was going to take 3 hours, and the last one left at 3 p.m. I can't say that I was impressed because I wanted to spend longer at the lake. But since I checked the access page of Lake Toada's website, I knew I had another option. I could take a bus to Hachinohe instead, and looking at the timetable, the last bus was at 4 p.m. So I had more time at the lake. And back when train timetables were different, knowing about this route meant the difference between catching the Sunrise Sleeper train from Tokyo and skipping it entirely. So you see, you might be confused at first, but finding more possibilities can mean the difference between taking the trip that you want and missing it completely. It's not that Google Maps doesn't know about the trains and buses that you should be taking, it's just that they're often buried in lots of other options. There's too much noise and not enough signal. And that brings us to the final time that you might want to use Google Maps second rather than first. Imagine you've checked yourself in at a luxury hotel. The next morning, you're right in the middle of fresh croissants and Earl Grey, hot, when there's a tap on your shoulder. That's when the waiter tells you that your breakfast isn't included in the price of your room, even though you thought it was when you booked it. See, if you're using any kind of rail pass for your transport while you're here, it's a really good idea to know which routes are included and when you're going to have to pay more, because nobody likes that kind of nasty surprise. And I probably should write a review about that hotel. They were quite mean about it. Thankfully, there's a very easy way you can check your itinerary for problems like this. With Japan Travel by Navitime, you can select which rail pass you're using. Then, when you search for your routes, it'll label which bits are included in the pass, and if not, how much extra you'll need to pay. Japan Travel is available as a website as well as an app, so it's useful whether you're route planning at home or the day before you want to go somewhere when you're in the hotel. That should help you with putting your plan together. But if you want to take the greatest Japan trip possible, I put all my best advice in this video right up here. Go check it out and I'll see you.